Champions are not born, they are forged, tempered and shaped by the fires of competition. Each year, the nation's best amateur racers enter the flames of the Sports Car Club of America Runoffs, a single winner-take-all event. This year, the Runoffs returns to Road America, one of the world's greatest and most challenging tracks. Over 500 drivers will take the green at the 48th annual Runoffs. Only 28 will emerge as national champions. The SCCA Runoffs, next on Speedcast TV.
Welcome to coverage of the 48th annual running of the SCCA National Championship Runoffs at Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. The 48th annual is brought to you in HD on SpeedcastTV.com. Thanks to our friends at Volkswagen. And we're setting up for T2 Touring 2, the Black Magic Touring 2 National Championship. A great field of cars on hand. I'm Jim Trado along with Dorsey Schrader, joined in moments by John Bizignano. And Dorsey, it looks like production-based cars, but again, the touring category certainly offers some opportunities for these drivers to get a bit creative under the skin.
I'll tell you what, this is being touted as the race of the year, and of course nobody knew that we would be under wet conditions when we got here, and that could play into this as well. 26 cars, and this is an ultra-competitive class with some of the best road racing drivers there are. I tell you, this should be one heck of a show.
We've got a national champion, Chad Gilsinger. Mark Bowden is in this race as well. Marty Grand won this race a year ago. Don Knowles, a 5-time gold medalist. Andy Wolverton actually won T2 in 2008. He's back in this class. Again, an all-star cast of racers here in Touring 2, about to take the green flag. A couple of adjustments. Mark Bowden has actually switched into a different vehicle. And we get word that Brian Kleeman has also been sent to the back of the grid by switching cars as well. So two of the front runners we are going to expect to see make their way forward. We'll have to do it from the 13th row.
That's going to be interesting for sure. Mark Bowden switched cars. He won a national championship earlier in a different class this weekend. So those guys giving up that much track position surprised me to some degree.
He's hopping into Joe Koenig's car, who was unable to continue this weekend. So Koenig actually working with Fall Line Motorsports, getting the opportunity to run the Fall Line. And
Koenig had a big crash in an earlier race,
yep.
and he is going to have to sit this one out. And Mark Bowden then switched cars into his car. And, of course, also Brian Kleeman has switched from a Ford Mustang to a Nissan 350Z. I don't know why that is. We don't have the details of why these happened, but we'll be watching those two guys because in the case of Kleeman, he was qualified in third originally with the other car, with the Mustang.
And Bowden, who won a bronze here last year, had qualified 13th in his own Fall Line Motorsports BMW M3. So, again, the changeover into Koenig's car, which is a Porsche 996, we'll see how that plays out. That's the 88 Nissan we talked about Kleeman.
I could understand that. The Porsche 996 might be a real smart choice because of why it's wet there. And Porsches with the rear engine have superior traction, power down. So I think that might be a very good choice of car.
Well, look at the conditions here, Dorsey. At Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, that's nothing that we can improve for you.
No,
unfortunately, that is a cloud hanging over the front stretch here.
Well, it rained really, really heavy this morning, and although it's not raining right now, this racetrack on the back side notoriously stays wet because there's the tree cover back there. It covers from exit of the carousel, and look how dark it is right there. From the carousel all the way through the Kink to Canada corner, it just doesn't dry here.
Great viewing areas throughout this 4-mile course. Again, this is the Olympics of amateur road racing. We see the road on the very left-hand side of that shot. That's actually the access road. You can get all the way around this racetrack.
That's a great racetrack.
There's bridges over the track. There's many viewing areas. There's bleachers built into the hills around here.
The premier racetrack in the United States, if not anywhere. This was one of my favorites. I've always been my favorite racetrack. 4 miles in length, plenty of passing opportunities. From a fan standpoint, it's perfect. The food here at the grandstands is better than you get at home, man, I tell you.
The food is probably why half of the racers still show up each and every time they get a chance, whether they're watching professional racing or indeed competing in the amateur levels. SCCA National Championship Runoffs is actually the third event sanctioned by SCCA here at Road America in a given year. The June sprints happen in June each year. That's kind of the tune-up and the second largest turnout of amateur road racers in a given season. That's in June. Then they ran the Cat Nationals back here in July. And a number of these drivers also came a week and a half ago already to get tuned up to qualify this week to go racing and get their grid spot in the maximum speed in Touring 2. The Black Magic Touring 2 National Championship race is about to get underway. Let's check in with a third member of the broadcast team, John Bizignano on pit road. Hey, Biz.
Hey guys, well they just put up the 3-minute sign down here, but one thing that has changed a little bit, we want to show you the weather one more time. I heard you talking about it before. That's off to the east, that's where the lake is. That's getting very dark now, and if you see the Budweiser flag, that was just hanging still earlier. Now we have some wind, actually, for the first time today, pushing those black clouds right over Elkhart Lake and Road America. Look at the cars in this particular T2 class, a great mixture. Of course, the Mustang with its V8 power. Now, Dorsey, I want to ask you, is that going to be the advantage that it would be on a dry track? I don't think so, trying to get down all that power on this wet surface. They might have some trouble getting out of the corners. Of course, the Nissan Z car, very popular in T2, he was saying we actually might have the right combination of handling and not having to deal so much power getting it down to the track. As we go down through the field, you see Porsches, you see BMWs, you see Pontiacs. This is a true mixture, and it's what we call a manufacturer's class. The manufacturers support these drivers. They pay them for doing well. It means a lot for them to come away from this runoff this weekend and say, we won T2. See what happens.
Thank you, John Bizignano. And touring too, and touring through this racetrack, that cloud continues to hover and continues to move this way. And unfortunately for these teams, that gives them another opportunity to figure out how to race in the wet, but this is on the biggest stage of the season.
I think these Porsches are going to be a handful today. I mean, that's a perfect configuration. The Porsche with the rear engine, again, that engine over the rear axle gives it superior traction, and these are high horsepower cars that spin the tires quite easily. So in the rain, watch for those Porsches. I think they'll be coming forward.
Quite a few cars here to get to, as again we mentioned, a large field of cars in Black Magic Touring 2 competition. The defending race winner, Marty Grand, is in this field as well, and his Mitsubishi Evo, that's a four-wheel drive car. I'm thinking that's got to be beneficial.
That's going to be a good car, too. No doubt about that.
We'll have the coverage for you here on SpeedcastTV.com, and as the cars are getting aligned here, we mentioned a couple of drivers going to the back, Brian Kleeman and the 78 of Mark Bowden. We'll give you the lineup here as we have it, as Andrew Acolante, the 2007 T1 champion, is going to come on the racetrack and lead this field to the green. He actually set a new track record. 11 cars are under the track record. Fourth runoffs pole for Andrew Acolante of Chester Springs, Pennsylvania. The Phoenix Hoosier Hawk Ford Mustang GT. We saw that silver car on grid when Biz gave us the report about that V8 horsepower and putting it to the racetrack. Starting second is the number 11 of Tony Rivera, the national points champion of the Brass Monkey Racing Nissan Hoosier Nissan 370Z Nismo kit upgrade. I'd say the Nismo people are real involved with what he's got going on. So we mentioned manufacturer support. He's got it. Moving up to third on the grid is Marty Grand as Kleeman drops to the rear. So Marty Grand will start third in that Mitsubishi Evo. He's the defending race champion, the AMS Performance TRE Hoosier Carbotech sponsored Mitsubishi Evo IX, which would be 4, I think, right? Or IX, whatever it may be. Sorry, IX is
Nine.
Thank you. I can't get my numbers right here, but we'll get it right. We'll get the car numbers right for you. Number 12, Jay Patel, Crown Point, Indiana. He actually won the July Cat Nationals here, so he's got a recent victory here in the Fall Line Porsche Exchange WeatherTech Porsche 996 for Patel in car number 12. Starting in row number 3, the number 70 of Joe Koenig is a scratch. Again, that car is being driven and from the tail by Mark Bowden. That moves Jason Ott in the number 62 machine up into the 6th position. Jason Ott is the Thornton, Colorado racer. Finished 4th here last year in the Bimmerhouse Hoosier BMW Z4M Coupe. We now go to the next row, starting 7th, number 86 of Andy Wolverton. He's got a gold medal in 2008 in T2 in the Raw Racing Hoosier Performance Auto Works Pontiac Solstice GXP. Starting in the 8th position will be John Cashadurian. Cashadurian out of Chicago, Illinois. Finished 50th in his debut in the Runoffs here last year in Spec Miata. Starting in the 9th position will be the 35 of Don Knowles. What else can be said about Don? 2009 gold. He's got many, many medals from the Runoffs. We'll see Don Knowles moving up from 9th on the grid, potentially the number 35 Phoenix Hawk Hoosier Pontiac Solstice GXP. Starting in 10th is a 00 Chris Von Sydow, the Central Division champion of the VS Motorsports. Von Sydow's moving BMW M3. Starting in the 11th position, the 33 of Todd Naparalski out of Chelsea, Michigan. Great Lakes Division, 2nd this season. Finished 10th here in 2009 in a Chevy Camaro at Road America in the Runoffs. Next we go to the 12th position on the grid, row 6, number 98, Bill Baton out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Bill actually finished 4th here in 2005. That was at a different racetrack. We'll see how he adapts here to Road America. And the Hoosier Marks ADR Van Winkle Baton Chevrolet Camaro. Next we go to the 13th starting position, the number 2 of Alan Kossoff. Alan's going to be racing in the Shunter Division all season long. We mentioned there's 3 races a year here. He's got a lot of experience at Road America and the Kossoff Motorsports BMW M3 in his home division out of Wheeling, Illinois. Next we find the 41 of Michael Pettiford. Pettiford finished 2nd here in 2008 in this division. He's got a great track record as well in the Runoffs. Starting number 41, Go For It Racing Schools Hawk Hoosier Pontiac Solstice GTP, again from the 14th position. Starting 15th, the number 07 of Chad Gilsinger. Gold medal of one of his 4 medals came in T3 last year in the BFG HPD H&R Recaro BRM Acura TL SH 4-wheel drive. Another 4-wheel drive. He parked the Honda S2000 before the weekend to run that Acura here in T2. Looking at the next starting position, the number 22 of Tim Hurd will start. Hund will start in the 16th position. Hund out of Norfolk, Virginia. Third runoffs last year, finished at 10th place. A result for the Old Dominion Metals Mitsubishi Evo. Again, Hund will start 16th. Starting 17th, the number 87 of Bill Steinhoff. Steinhoff out of Plantation, Florida, is the Southeast Division champion. The 37-year-old racer is racing in the Alpine Autosport machine, the Nissan 350ZX. Starting in the next position, we find the number 6 of Dan Spyrick out of Parker, Colorado. He's the Alpine Autosports machine sponsorship. the Mangos Racing Hoosier Nissan backing for Steinhoff. Spyrick is the number 6. He's got a great run going for him. 6 podiums and 6 races this year. Then we go to the number 25 of Richard Baldwin out of Madisonville, Louisiana, the Delta region represented. Best was P2 and Spec Racer 4 in the runoffs competition back in 2008. As the cars roll through turn 6, we continue with our grid here. Starting in the 20th position will be the 09 of Randy Toro. Randy Toro out of Hollis, New Hampshire. A new runner at the runoffs. He finished 3rd in the Northeast Division. First time here at the runoffs in the national stage. Starting on the 22nd position will be his 21st position. We got the grid because of late changes here. 21st, the 50 of Charlie Velli. Velli out of Washington, Texas. His first runoffs after finishing 10th in national points in T2 this year. Starting 22nd, the 05 of Robert Kulak. Kulak is going to be racing out of the Texas region, the Zorro Racing.
Got one car in the pits as you're doing the.
Yep.
That's one of the Joey Wang to Phillips. It's one of the Mitsubishi Evolution 4-wheel drive cars. They're going to be in good shape here today.
He's out of Fort Lee, New Jersey. He's starting at the back of the grid. He was slated to start 24th. We're about to get to that row. Unfortunately for him, he may have to start 3 spots behind that as he's still awaiting the opportunity to go forward and get off the grid, and their workers are right there with him, so perhaps it could be a window net, could be something else along that line to get that car safe and secure for racing here.
Might be a smart decision.
Finishing up the order, starting 23rd is David Moramato. Moramato is in the out of Aurora, Colorado, in the Nissan 350Z. He finished 17th here last year. Again, scheduled to start 24th is Joey Wang de Philippis out of Fort Lee, New Jersey, the 33-year-old, still on pit road. And then we find Mark Bowden and Brian Kleeman at the very tail of the field. Kleeman finished in his 4th runoffs. He has 2 national wins heading into this race, and Kleeman at the very tail. Again, switching cars in the ICS Learning Group, DWW Motorsports, is starting at the tail in the 88.
I think that's a really smart call that you're looking at right there with Joey Wang de Philippis. He's only given up 2 positions. If there's a big mess in turn 1, he's going to be far enough back from it that he can move forward. The best chance he's got is the fact that he's in an all-wheel drive car. There's 3 of those out there, and I think that's going to make a huge difference if it starts raining.
Well, I tried to get through all 26 cars there, and I apologize if we got a little jumbled up because of the change with Kleeman and Bowden going to the back of the field. But nonetheless, this is going to shape up to be an awesome Black Magic T2 National Championship run.
This will be a war, no doubt about it. There's many national champions driving here. There's a lot of different configurations of car on a really slippery racetrack.
That's a beautiful shot of the number 11 machine. That is Tony Rivera. That is our front row starter on the outside on the pole. Andrew Aquilani for the 4th time at the runoffs will lead them to the field up the hill for the first time with 13 laps or 40 minutes, whichever comes first. Aquilante in that awesome Phoenix Racing camp will try to win gold here for the 2nd time in T2. Aquilani coming up the hill. Won his gold in T1 in 2007, trying to add to that total. He's got 13 laps and a whole field behind him to prove it. Is he up to muster? The new track record holder leads us to green. We're underway in the Black Magic T2 National Championship.
Hold your breath on this first lap. I'll tell you what, the guys have not been around yet to see how slippery it is.
De Philippis' car is sitting on pit road. He is indeed waiting for the whole grid to go by with 3 wide.
Wow, I'll tell you what, Andrew Aquilani dropped way back from that start. I think it's Marty Grant in the all-wheel drive Mitsubishi in the lead. No, it's not. I'm wrong.
Aquilani does have points. He was able to maintain point heading into turn 1. That's the 35 of Don Knowles. That yellow machine, he is going to be heard from, believe me.
Oh, Pontiac Solstice almost gets hit because of the loose condition coming off of turn 3 of the cars around him.
Knowles has 5 gold medals last year. Unfortunately, he did spin while on the kink, running in 4th.
Now we got the lead, right?
Here we go. First time down to turn 5.
This does not surprise me. This all-wheel drive with the slippery racetrack should just check out.
Marty Grand gets the lead here, the defending race winner, through turn 5.
Well, Aquilani did a good job. You see, he didn't spin the tires up too bad. That's hard not to do. His Fords make a lot of power, a lot of torque.
Aquilani winning that gold medal at the tender age of 17, now at an old man at 24, running second here in the 32 car.
You know, they equalize all of these cars based off of their power, potential, and the weight of the vehicle and so forth. One thing that you can't really adjust for is these all-wheel drive cars when it gets rainy. They just, a little lock up there. This is where it gets slippery on this side of the racetrack, Jim. Underneath that Speedville Bridge, Johnsonville Bridge.
Whoa, touch, contact. The leaders. Aquilani had a great run going into the corner. Grand wanted to make sure he had a good run going, and unfortunately for him, Aquilani was going a bit faster into the carousel. They made contact front to rear bumper.
This is the end of the racetrack that's so slippery that I talk about the trees shadowing the racetrack all the time. It doesn't get any sun. Of course, there's no sun to get today.
So it was a square hit on the rear bumper of Marty Grand. No harm done there, but boy, what an anxious moment as Aquilani got right to the tail of our race leader entering the carousel.
Absolutely. And this is the end of the racetrack where the superior traction cars should really gain.
Tony Rivera started second. He now runs third in that silver Nissan.
Surprised at this 4-car breakaway, quite honestly. That 4th car in line, the fall line. Porsche, number
Jay
12.
Patel, he's got a lot of experience here. Finished third in the June Sprints. He runs out of the Central Division and won the Cat Nationals here in July.
In that car again, a Porsche with the a good traction compound off the weight off the rear axle.
These 4 cars now leading the field for the first time up the hill off of turn 14 up the front stretch. Took lead lap number 1.
Pair of Porsches back there. I think you'll find them coming forward.
Up the hill, we'll get the refresh on scoring, led by the number 43 of Marty Grand. Grand started in the 3rd position. There's the number 11 of Tony Rivera.
3rd place. He's
Slots
in good shape.
Patel runs 4th. Jason out on lap number 1. Now crosses
Here
in 5th.
comes the horsepower, however. Andrew Aquilani makes a good run down into turn 1.
Slight contact there, rear to front tires, and Aquilani will take the pass.
Yeah, and look at the traction there on that Mitsubishi all-wheel drive. Runs down the inside of Aquilani and will get the launch off the corner. I would think Aquilani was going to spin a tire up here. Watch.
Aquilani with a good run to the outside. Very gentlemanly move here. Very sportsmanlike run as he now tries to challenge back to Marty Grand, who takes the lead back in the Evo.
Well, we're on the beginning, end of lap 1 and touched twice already, so
we'll see how gentlemanly they are come on lap 12.
you can see what's going on here. Andrew Aquilani with the big Ford horsepower has got top-end speed on the Mitsubishi. Mitsubishi, on the other hand, has grip, mechanical grip, that the Mustang does not have.
Aquilani was actually P4 in his first runoffs in 2005 at age 17. He won his gold medal age just 4 years ago in T1. So again, T2 opportunities here in a Mustang for the first time for Aquilani.
If it doesn't rain, I'm starting to see a dry line, however. There's a lot of cars out there now with 26 starters. Oh, that's a tough place to make a pass. Turn 7.
We have a full course caution now being displayed on course.
And I was kind of figuring this would happen sooner or later with this many cars.
26 cars in the racetrack. This is the lead pair. They're free and clear of what could be a situation.
I don't see the corner work. There we go. That's full course.
Yep.
We're hearing that Charlie Bailey 5-0 car is off in turn 9, which is the carousel. Entry to the carousel.
There he is, right along the racing surface, right in the gravel.
Yeah, that's just the outside of the entry. That's not a good spot to be parked.
Nice look at Charlie's BMW M3 out of Washington, Texas, his first ever runoffs. He's got 1 national win this year, and he finished 3rd in the Southwest Division. He raced in all but 1 of 11 division races this year. 10 times he was behind the wheel of his car in SCCA competition in the Southwest Division. As we go 4-course caution, it's a good opportunity for us to allow these drivers to get reset. And we'll return for more Blackmagic T2 National Championship coverage on SpeedcastTV.com in a moment. Stay with us.
This portion of the 48th Annual SCCA National Championship Runoffs is being brought to you by Mazda, Zoom Zoom, by Volkswagen, Das Auto, by Blackmagic Car Care Products, and by Gum Out, cleaning since 1945.
What do you drive? Is it inspiring? Was it built by a behemoth car maker? Or insightful craftsmen obsessing over the details, building better cars for a discerning few? Are you one of the few who care about what you drive and how it drives? We're with you because we believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. We build Mazdas. What do you drive?
Gum Out Regain Complete Fuel System Cleaner helps restore lost horsepower and fuel economy. Just pour an entire bottle of Gum Out Regain into your tank before your next fill-up. Powerful cleaning additives attach themselves to fuel system carbon deposits and safely and effectively lift them away. That way, deposits burn up, then pass through the exhaust. Gum Out Regain additives even leave a protective barrier to help keep new deposits from forming for up to 3,000 miles. Get a bottle of Gum Out Regain Complete Fuel System Cleaner today for reduced engine hesitation, surging and knocking, as well as restored fuel economy and lost horsepower, all within one fill-up.
Okay, it's time to face facts. You're a gearhead. You treat the freeway on-ramp like your own personal racetrack, and you love the smell of burning rubber. Well, good news, Speed Junkie. The Sports Car Club of America wants you. With 40,000 members and 2,000 events across the country, the SCCA has all the wheel-spinning, engine-revving excitement you can handle. Want to dance on the edge of control? In SCCA Solo, you'll learn the blacktop two-step with an army of cones trying to trip you up. If slinging mud is your thing, check out SCCA Rallycross, where power slides and rooster tails are the name of the game. And if wheel-to-wheel competition is what you crave, SCCA Club Racing lets you chase the checkered flag on America's toughest racetracks. Join the Sports Car Club of America today and feed your obsession.
Road trip, buddy. Let's put some music on.
Welcome to Learning Spanish in the Car.
You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, this is good.
Vámonos.
Vámonos.
Gracias.
Gracias.
13 horas en el carro sin parar y no traes música. Mira, entra y cómprame unas papitas.
Get up to 795 miles per tank in the all-new Volkswagen Passat TDI Clean Diesel.
And we're back to coverage under caution of the Black Magic T2 National Championship. Full course caution, and this gives us a chance to take a peek at that black number 88, Dorsey. He started way in the back.
Yeah, you had both Mark Bowden and Brian Kleeman that we're talking about right here starting in the back because they switched cars. I think they switched cars because of the track being wet. And that being said, they passed half of the cars in the field on one lap. So where they started last, they're now all the way up to 12th place.
And 14th is Kleeman. We just saw on camera. Up into 12th is that silver Porsche. Mark Bowden again driving in replacement of Joe Koenig, who was injured earlier this week, or at least sore enough not to continue on, as he had an accident in a different class. So Koenig gives the handle and the steering wheel to Mark Bowden, who is scheduled to start 13th in his own machine. But there is Bowden. He's up to 12th now.
Yeah, he's better off than
machine.
He's better off than where he would have started in the BMW. The Porsche, of course, with that rear engine, does get really good traction in these wet conditions, as do the all-wheel drive car like Marty Grant, who's leading. But there's actually three of those Evos here, Mitsubishi Evos I'm talking about.
And we are under caution because Charlie Bailey actually spun in turn number 9, and the gravel that was spit up on the track, bringing him back out, is the reason why we stay under caution here.
And it shows you how great a driver Andrew Aquilani is in that Ford Mustang, that he's able, and he's the only rear-wheel drive car up there able, short of the Porsches, which have the superior traction, to do that. So Andrew Aquilani's got the fastest race lap right now to 2:48.7, but we're only talking about 2 laps in the book.
There's Andy Robertson, the 2008 champion at T2. Last year at Heartland Park, Topeka, before the runoffs came here to Road America. So Wilburton in the 86 machine also looking to contend here from 10th.
Well, the war's about to begin again.
Good chance to look at the racetrack, too, here, Dorsey, as the cars go slowly through here. It looks like a bit of gray, lighter gray now, developing.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing before. We're getting a dry line. If it doesn't rain at all, we are going to develop a dry line shortly. A lot of cars on the racetrack will dry it.
Coming back up the hill, the pace car is in. That means we are looking for a green to continue on here to complete lap number 3 and start lap 4 of 13 or 40 minutes in the Black Magic T2 National Championship at the runoffs.
It's going to be a very interesting race. Andrew Aquilani in the Mustang has top speed. He's got definitely the horsepower. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the grip that the all-wheel drive car does. Here you see it, up to the lead, and they bump again. That's 3 times in 3 laps. These guys are not going to like each other at the end of the day if they keep this up.
Well, they got the same paint scheme and the same paint colors, so we don't know how many times they'll swap it, but nonetheless, they are hard at it. Grand to the inside, Aquilani on the outside of the Mustang.
Not giving each other very much room, and you know, like I say, I don't know if they're friends now or not, but I don't think they're going to be if they keep this up.
And Grand again pulls even with Aquilani, heading up the hill here just to dip down, and now very fast into turn 5.
That's just superior traction, power down. That's what it's about. That, you know, the Mustang's got no power, but it's spinning the tires.
And Grand again will pull up and even. Now it looks like the advantage goes to Aquilani. He'll be inside here in this very tricky left-hand corner in the wet.
Watch, he's going to cut underneath him, go right up the inside, run up the hill to turn 6. So he's going to try to. There he goes. Told you.
And Doris, we've made the progress report here. If you go on the inside of 6, the outside driver has little to do except let you through.
The only difference here is that the all-wheel drive car actually won't break free. It's going to have traction there, where if that was reversed, if you had the Mustang the inside, that would not have worked.
And Aquilani able to hold position here. The Pennsylvania
Here comes the Porsche.
Yep.
Here comes Tony Rivera. He wants part of this.
Rivera, the 2009 Nissan 370Z Nismo upkit, runs third. Nissan Motorsports really has gotten involved. And again, this, as Biz pointed out at the beginning, manufacturer pride in the line here.
I said that Porsche. Of course, it's not a Porsche. It is the Nissan.
Porsche of Jay Patel runs behind Rivera in fourth position.
They're all the same color. That's a weird deal, too, because gray is not a popular color usually.
Darker gray up front, and they've already exchanged pleasantries via paint. The rear quarter panel 3 different times for our 2 race leaders. Then come the trio silver. Oh, boy.
Right through the king sideways. That was a good one.
That was the, looks to be, it was a bit of fun there for the 5th place runner.
Got the slide for life, he did. Jason Ott with a good recovery.
Way to save that BMW. That is Jay Patel. Again, Central Region is where or Central Division is where he runs. So again, this track very familiar to him. And he's hanging on to a great run in 4th. Oh, that's Don Knowles.
Don has had a spin, not a half a spin, I should say. Did not get stuck in the gravel trap. He'll go on. He didn't have a very good qualifying. Been running around 5th most of the weekend. And in qualifying, he went backwards, ended up starting 10th. And was in 6th place a moment ago. Now I think not.
And in this race a year ago, he spun in the kink while running in 4th. So Don Knowles again trying to make the most out of the back half of the course, and it cost him there again.
Pontiac Solstice is what Don drives. I don't know that that's the perfect configuration of car for today. Right now, this Mustang looks like it's not doing bad. Andrew Aquilani, our pole sitter, gapping Marty Grand.
Knowles won the gold medal here 2 years ago, and the first time the Runoffs came to Road America in this T2 division. Now a move again by one of the fall line racers. To the outside goes Mark Bowden. Bowden in the 78 has moved up into the 8th position from last on the grid.
That's an amazing drive. He's already won a championship this weekend. He knows what it feels like once more.
Runs up on the outside of the 07 of Chad Gilsinger.
Mark Bowden owns Fall Line, a prep shop for Porsches and BMWs primarily. Does a really good job of prepping cars, but he's also doing a really good job of driving today.
And he just got past the Allsinger machine. That's an Acura all-wheel drive machine. So a great run by Bowden in that number 78 Porsche.
And that was a car choice or a car swap that put him to the back of the grid, but I think that was a very smart thing that Mark Bowden did, switching over to the Porsche for this wet condition race.
Bowden black on silver, number 78 machine. Again, Joe Koenig scheduled to drive that car, was unable to go, and Bowden hopped out of his and jumped in this Porsche. Great battle here for up the hill. That's Alan Kossoff, the number 2, running for 9th now. Trying to beat Chris Von Sydow to turn 6.
For Joe Koenig, I know he'll be watching this race, and I know he's hurt, and he's luckily, we're not seriously hurt, but he's got some banged up, bruised up ribs and hip, and took a big shot the other day, so we're hoping he is enjoying the race and doing well.
Kossoff on the inside, Von Sydow on the outside. Von Sydow had to really get on the binders there.
Pair of BMWs, equal traction here. We'll see what happens. Outside line, the preferred line in the wet. Oh,
that's Von Sydow slipping up a bit.
Yeah, you saw what happened too. He slipped on the inside.
Washed right up.
Went right out to the outside and got grip.
Double O is Von Sydow. The 2 is Alan Kossoff. The battle for 9th in Black Magic T2 National Championship working lap number 5.
Down here through the kink. Still wet. It will be wet. You see a puddle there. It's probably the only puddle on the racetrack. And if this corner doesn't get your attention in the dry, it certainly will.
Marty Grand under attack by Tony Rivera here. In the Canada corner, Grand, you think with all that superior effort here in that Mitsubishi Evo has Jay Patel right behind the 11 of Tony Rivera. This is a race for 2nd now.
Rivera had the speed, but he didn't have the grip to do anything with it. And you see it right here again. It's the faster car. But watch as they come off the corner. The all-wheel drive gets all of its power down. The Porsche gets most of its.
Tony Rivera running 2nd. Certainly challenging in that 2009 Nissan 370Z.
Porsche again.
That's all right.
Nissan.
But look at this run for 2nd. We thought Marty Grant for sure would be right with our race leader Andrew Aquilani, who's opened up a 5-second lead on this pair.
That's the amazing drive right now. Andrew Aquilani in a car that should be the one slipping and sliding the most has kept it under control and is the fastest guy out there. He's actually 4 seconds a lap faster than any other car right now.
That's the number 12 of Jay Patel. We talked about him, the 42 years of age, run third in the June sprints here. But again, a Central Division racer, so the experience paying off for him, running in the top 5. The 62 machine is Jason Ott. Finished 4th here last year out of Thornton, Colorado.
The driver talent level in this class is unprecedented. I mean, you've got the very best of the best out there, and they show because this is tough conditions to race under, and they're doing a really good job.
Jason Ott won the silver here in 2009 in T2.
And I'm going to say Tony Rivera in a Nissan until I keep saying it and get it right.
Well, he's trying to get second position away from Marty Grand, but you mentioned the corner exit is everything for Grand right now.
And you see it right there. He gaps just enough. Looks like the Nissan's really good on speed through the corner.
Oh, man, is that close.
Just can't get the power down when he needs to launch. But, again, you see the lightning of the racetrack. The track is drying. It's not raining yet. And the more it dries, the more you're going to see that Nissan move forward.
To the middle goes Grand to hold position and protect him. Look at that run by the Nissan of Tony Rivera.
Yeah, he pounced on that opportunity. That was a great move.
So a shallow entry has cost Grand the second position. Rivera to second. Grand back to third in that Evo.
Didn't get a good look at all the tires combinations. I would assume most everybody is on wets, treaded tires, and that will start squirming around here as the track drives. You'll see these cars start to wiggle.
Looking through my notes here, Marty Grand overcame brake issues last year to win this race. With a four-wheel drive car with all that aggressive moves off the corner, we don't see a lot of heavy braking in this condition, at least. That would cause some further brake issues with perhaps some temps that might get a little too hot.
One drawback, here's a good race down in the Canada corner right here. One drawback of all-wheel drive is it's with all that drive line configuration, it's a heavier car. It weighs more. You can't get the weight out of the car because you actually have twice as many axles, twice as many CV joints, etc.
Blackmagic T2 National Championship under hot conditions here. Hot on the racetrack, cold in the air, and wet on the race surface, but certainly heating up for Mark Bowden here, trying to gain position on the number 80 machine. That is John Kachadorian out of the Chicago region, trying to hold off Bowden, who started last.
They're definitely getting a dry racetrack right now. 26 cars out there doing a good job.
Aquilani leads by 8.9 seconds over Rivera. Marty Grand runs third. Jay Patel up to fourth. Kachadorian fifth. Mark Bowden is sixth now.
Actually,
as Jason Ott dropped back to seventh.
John Bisognano just informed me that taking a look at those cars on the grid while he was with them over there, they're on slicks. All of them, most of the field is not on wet tires. So if it should rain, things will get interesting.
More interesting than they have. Wow, look at this battle. That's
Bowden, Mark Bowden working the inside again.
That's a customer of his. If he owns Fallon Motorsports, he wants to make sure that red, orange, and black car ahead of him.
Yeah, it's a team car.
Yep, and they got just through some rain reported by the corner workers in this area in turn 3.
Ooh. Well, it's dark enough. I mean, it could rain at any given time. And with these guys on slicks, if it gets real wet, you see windshield wipers on now as they head toward turn 5.
That's the 11 of Rivera running second, opening up this gap on Marty Grand.
And you can see the rain up underneath the bridge looking backward.
And Jay Patel runs fourth, and look who's up in the fifth position now. It is the 78 of Mark Bowden.
The complexity of this race is going to change drastically if this gets wet.
Kachadorian runs sixth now up to turn 6. That is Jay Patel. Again, here comes Bowden, who started last on the grid in this Porsche, and he's running up into a medal contention position.
I think weather is going to be the factor now. It's raining hard here in the front straightaway, looking out the window here.
And it's coming straight down, Dorsey.
It's coming straight down. Watch what happens now. That's going to change the whole picture.
You mentioned Porsches with the superior handling, but that Evo has 4 tires going in the forward direction, not just 2.
The all-wheel drive is going to be a real good car to have here in about 2 laps if it stays like this.
Jay Patel, feeling the pressure, gets that position on Marty Grand, as does Mark Bowden, streaming around the outside of the carousel past the Mitsubishi.
Now with this 4-mile track, it's raining like crazy up here on the front straightaway. It doesn't mean that it's raining back where these cars are right now. That's a couple miles away as the bird flies.
So Jay Patel takes over the third position. He's in the bronze position. Now it's Patel in third. Marty Grand back to fifth as Mark Bowden has advanced to fourth.
Well, watch for the spray coming off the tires. That'll be a dead sure indication in there. You see the glaze of the headlights. So it's starting to get slippery out here.
Kachadorian doing a nice job hanging out in the sixth position in his 2004 BMW M3. That's the black and red colors you see there.
That's the slipperiest area of the racetrack, Canada corner all the way up to the Bill Mitchell series of corners here.
It's really dark here through this area.
This is coming on the front straightaway where we are, and I can tell you because I'm just looking out the window, it's raining good here. Watch this.
Touchy, touchy, touchy.
Easy, boys. Yeah, you got to drive like you had an egg underneath the throttle. You don't want to break that egg.
Jay Patel on the left, to the right as they come up the hill. To the inside now goes Mark Bowden in the battle for third.
And look at the spray starting to develop. It's going to be a wet race from this point forward. This track will not be dry anymore today. Why not for this race?
The glare and the gleam of the standing water and the rain now forming up on the front straightaway will provide a new challenge for the Black Magic T2 National Championship run.
That's another thing to talk about is visibility problems. These cars have windshields, and those windshields can fog up from the inside. If they don't have a good defogging system, next thing you'll be encountering is I can't see anything out of the windshield, and I've been in that condition. It's not fun.
And Marty Grand has his wipers on that Evo, watching two Porsches ahead of him skate away in turn 3.
Ooh, for Andrew Aquilani, who's winning this race, it's going to become a handful of Mustang here, I guarantee you.
Coming down the hill, we'll see. I mean, it was a really strong run by Jay Patel to get by the Evo of Marty Grand. He's now got the third position. Closing in on El Rivera here in the Nissan, a bit slower because Bowden's still coming.
This would not be a problem if these cars were on rain tires. You could still be able to maintain pretty good speed. But remember, John Bisognano told us these cars are on slicks and they don't dissipate any water. They aquaplane, hydroplane, and it's going to be an issue.
So it's a Rivera right now running in second position. Mark Bowden closing in third. Cross lock there on the 11.
Yeah, now we got some slip and slide going.
Marty Grant says, it's my turn again. I've got the four-wheel drive, guys. Remember me? Here I come.
Exactly. Oh, by the way, while you guys are having a really miserable day, get out of my way. I'm coming through.
Bowden gives way as all of a sudden the switch goes on when the water comes down for the Mitsubishi Evo of Marty Grand.
There's nothing in the world you can do about this traction situation at this point. Oh, look at all these cars dancing.
John Cashadurian lost it now for the second time in three corners and saved it.
Good battle right here. Marty Grand around the outside, all-wheel drive, no problem. But on the look at that, good traction from the outside.
Wow, that's impressive. We thought for sure that Mitsubishi would be able to knife through these guys and leave them. But it's Bowden powering back around them.
Well, that's got good traction too. Bowden in the Porsche.
Mark Bowden in the Trim Tex Hoosier Fall Line Porsche in place of Joe Koenig, who finished third in the Central Division this year. Bowden decided to jump in his customer's car, and he's doing a fine job with it.
Say these guys are earning their money, but this is an amateur race. They don't get paid any money, so they're just working hard.
Well, there's contingency money on the line here, whether it be tire manufacturers, oil products, on down to the brake pads. They've got a lot of things on the line here.
Mark Bowden doing an excellent driving job. I can't say enough how good he is doing in this condition. I mean, the Porsche is good in the rain, but it's still, remember, these guys are on slicks.
Oh, man. This corner is very challenging. Turn 14.
First couple of laps on slicks that are warm, like those tires are warm, you'll still have grip. But once they cool down, that grip level just dissipates.
Boy, certainly using up every inch of this pavement is that Marty Grand, the driver of that Mitsubishi Evo, running up the hill behind the Porsche of Mark Bowden. Marty Grand, the defending race winner here.
I'm totally amazed that we have not seen anything of Andrew Aquilani dropping back.
12 seconds the advantage now on this pair.
12-second lead, but he cannot be running, as fast, I wouldn't think, lap time-wise. No, he's 2 seconds lap slower than these cars looking over here, timing and scoring.
Boy, Bowden is putting everything to work here. Down into turn 3. Marty Grand had a good run because Bowden fishtailed off of turn 1 into turn 2, which is really that point of the bridge where it says Briggs & Stratton over it.
Fastest car on the racetrack presently is Marty Grand. He ran a 2:53.20. Bowden's at a 53.6, and our leader is at a 55.2. So there is Andrew Aquilani winning the race, leading the race from the get-go, but he is going to have company very shortly.
And here they come. Down the hill into turn number 5. Headlights on for Bowden. Headlights off. Wipers flapping for Marty Grand and the Mitsubishi.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting... Both these cars... Oh, he's off too long.
That's Bowden.
Yeah, too much speed down there. Bowden couldn't make the corner. Luckily, that runoff's paved over there. No gravel trap. He gets to continue on.
That used to be where the gravel was about 3 feet off line.
Yeah, you'd get stuck down there all the time. Like I say, gravel traps are a thing of the past. Oh, and he's off again. This time in turn 6. That's a new piece of pavement, too.
Yep.
He would have been stuck years ago. I was there.
Safety for motorcycle racing. They've added the NASCAR Nationwide Series here to Road America as well. So some of those improvements for those big, heavy cars, as you just saw there, if they have an opportunity to stay back on course, they will.
That extra pavement is a much better situation to allow a driver to get back under control other than just getting stuck in gravel and having to stop the race and pull people out all the time. Another car off the racetrack to number 2, BMW.
We would say heavy rain would be the conditions now.
Yeah, we're in a downpour now.
Kossoff was running in the 9th position, moved up to 7th.
This is where you need the deluge tires.
Yep.
I mean, full-on wets.
How deep can you make those grooves?
And these cars, again, we'll say it again, are on slicks. They did not opt to go with the rain tires, so hats off to the guys. They're driving in a real slippery condition.
So Mark Bowden had 2 offs, gave up second position, but is still good enough as the race wears on here to run in the 3rd spot. We're working lap number 9.
Andrew Aquilani, who's impressing me, he's in a Mustang with a big V8 in there in a full wet, and he's still able to be in the lead. However, he's losing 2 seconds a lap right now to Mark Bowden, who's coming on.
Take a look at that BMW out front. That's the 00. Chris Von Sydow currently running in the 9th position.
Marty Grand, I should have said.
Yep.
Oh, side by side in the kink in the wet.
Well, if you want a Gilsinger, you can have the inside. Chad Gilsinger in the 07 machine. That's an Acura all-wheel drive.
Oh, no, I knew something was going to happen sooner or later. Andrew
race leader
has had an accident. He's spun and gotten into the wall. Oh, more problem back here. That's one of the BMWs.
John Kashadurian.
And then
that's
Mark
Jay
Bowden.
Patel. Those are top
Patel,
5 runners.
Patel, yeah. Our leader, Andrew Aquilani's day is done. He's headed for the showers, headed back pit lane.
That is your race leader. Aquilani had a 12-second lead. We mentioned how great of a drive with that Mustang. Rear-wheel drive on slicks, and turn 12 bit him.
Yep, Canada corner. He got off there in the brake zone. I'm sure he hit driver's right into the concrete wall, and he knows that the day's over.
The left side appears to be square, but I'm sure their right front tire is not
right front
where it needs
to be. Yep.
Aquilani down pit road. The 2007 T1 gold medalist comes down to pit road, which usually spells disaster on this 13-lap sprint race in the runoffs.
Yeah, they're going to have a look at it, but I'm sure he will opt to retire. You're not going to make up that much ground.
Mark Bowden also down pit road in the number 78 Porsche. His drive to 4th is apparently a bit of a stop as well as he comes to a stop on pit road. This lives the lead and the run to that Mitsubishi Evo. Marty Grand now takes over P1.
More cars on pit road. Some of these guys, I mean, you could come in now and switch tires. It takes a long time. They're not set up for that. Oh, in the tire wall next
Tony
to
Rivera.
Tony Rivera now.
P2. Right rear damage. A lot of damage there.
Well, that's the problem. If you get off the racetrack nowadays in this kind of thing, and it is a tire change for Bowden, they're going to do 4 rain tires and hope that he can unlap himself from this field. Maybe not a bad idea. It's 9 laps in.
Jay Patel is also in. He was running in the top 5, as is the 80 of Kashadurian. He was running 6th.
Yeah, this car's stuck in the tire wall. And more cars coming off, and there's a truck parked out there, for crying out loud.
That's the 00, unfortunately for Von Sydow.
I'd be moving that truck, boys. We got 3 of them in the gravel trap, and you know what that means? It's real slippery
more
right
coming.
there. Yeah, there's more coming.
There's Don Knowles, able to hang on in the Solstice.
Knowles is going to be in good shape here.
Full course caution finally appears here. The 87 machine, that's a Nissan, tap dancing through the water is Bill Steinhoff.
That is a smart call by the chief steward. Put that full course out there. I don't like that truck parked down there. There's 3 cars. Look at that. You couldn't have a more dangerous situation than that.
Von Sydow is in. There's a BMW parked next to him.
And there's Don Knowles going by. You see him there up top of the grid.
Wow.
We're going to get a checker flag, we're hearing, this next lap, which is ending this prematurely.
With all the cars that went off, it appears that the call has been made. There will not be an opportunity to run this race to the finish.
Can't tell you the order right now because they haven't come by start-finish line to clock in. A lot of cars that were up in the top are up on the wall now.
Marty Grand has been able to keep all 4 of his 4-wheel drive car machine on track, the Mitsubishi Evo. It looks like Marty Grand maybe checkered the winner. Here he comes for the final few corners. We understand that we're going to receive a checkered flag on this event here.
And it's because there's too many cars to clean up in the short period of time that's allotted here. We got at least 5 cars off, and it's not a safe condition right now to put those trucks out there in harm's way.
Nope, and these are amateur racers. There's no way they can afford to wreck these race cars. Again, it's a matter of heart and soul, and it looks like Marty Grand will receive the checkered flag for the 2nd straight year. Our winner of the Black Magic T2 National Championship, Marty Grand, out of Manassas Park, Virginia, takes home the victory. We'll see who can skate through turn 14 and get 2nd. We don't know who it is because of all the rain that's been on the race course. The top 6 cars, most of them are either in the trapper and pit road.
Yeah, there's a lot of cars that were in that top 10 even that are not going to make the finish line. I'm kind of looking right now to see where Don Knowles slots through once he gets up here, but the timing and scoring loop hasn't been triggered. Right now, all we know is Marty Grand won this race.
There's Chad Gilsinger running around in 2nd gear in the Acura all-wheel drive machine. That's Don Knowles in that yellow Pontiac Solstice.
He might have a second here. I'm not sure.
Again, full course caution, they can't pass each other, so he cannot, but he had to finish the race.
Nobody's triggered the timing loop except for our overall leader, Marty Grand. We know he's won. I cannot tell you.
Andy Wolverton in that Solstice, the black car, he's running behind Don Knowles. We saw Chad Gilsinger on the racetrack. He's still going in his all-wheel drive Acura.
It's hard to say. This is just a crazy way to end the thing, but
Richard Kulak started back in 22nd.
I think Gilsinger is going to end up. Chad Gilsinger is going to be second, but he hasn't yet got here.
And one lap ago, he was back in 5th. So that tells you how many cars in a quick fashion either hit pit road or
there comes Chad.
Got in the sand. Again, he ran a Honda S2000 last year and this year. T2, T3. Won the championship at T3 last year. Did not compete in that division at all except for here at the runoffs.
Here we go.
And here comes P2. Chad Gilsinger out of Marysville, Ohio, will claim the silver in the BFG sponsored and supported HPD H&R Recaro BRM Honda. S2 is what he drove, but to second place, he drives a 2010 Acura TL all-wheel drive.
And here comes what I think should be third through the rest. I think.
In a heavy deluge, Alan Kossoff will get third in a BMW.
Brian Kleeman up to fourth. Bill Baton fifth. Top five. In a really weird race, and all these guys are why we had to end early. That's not all of them, by the way. That's just three in that corner.
Yep, Chris Von Sydow among them, that Beamer that's got furthest deep into the sand.
And there's several other areas around the racetrack that look similar to this. One would be, obviously, turn 12.
And Louis Rivera's son, Tony Rivera, got off at turn 3. He lost the medal position due to wetness, and running slicks is a challenge and certainly a risk. We see the rest of the competitors come through. The ones that did finish, we'll tell you that Marty Grand, the winner, Chad Gilsinger, silver, Alan Kossoff, bronze, Brian Kleeman from last on the grid in the Nissan changeover to 4th, Bill Baton 5th, Todd Naparelski 6th, Andy Wolverton will get 7th, Richard Baldwin 8th, Bill Steinhoff 9th. That's the 11 car of Rivera. He's looking over the damage now. Good to see he's out looking around after impacting the turn 3 tire barriers.
Yep, that was a shame, no question about it. You can tell pretty good damage off that right side. That whole bumper cover he's looking at right now is trying to fall off. If they pull him out of here, you can probably drive on. It's one thing about it. If you get off the racetrack, you don't stop till you hit something when it's like this.
And that's when speed is realized. You don't really know how fast you're going until you have to stop.
There's Don Knowles kind of coming along. He must have had more trouble. He's down there in 12th position. He'll be just glad to get off that wet racetrack.
Knowles has 5 gold medals. Marty Grand just picked up his second here at the runoffs, and there he is, the champion of the Black Magic T2 National Championship in 2011.
Marty Grand did a good job. I mean, all-wheel drive helped out quite a bit, but I don't care what you have. When you're out there in that kind of condition on slicks, you got a handful of car to deal with.
We talked about experience coming to play here. Chad Gilsinger won the gold medal last year in T3. He finishes second. Alan Kossoff in that number 2 machine pedaled across in third. In his third runoffs, he finished 8th here last year, beginning at that experience pays. Central Division, he finished all 7 races this year, 2 of which were held here at Road America.
Well, I said at the beginning of the show this was touted as the race of the year, but when I saw the conditions of the racetrack and the possibility of rain, I knew impending disaster was imminent.
And here to cover each and every one of the pre-race and victory lane ceremonies for us here on SpeedcastTV.com is John Bisignano, who hopefully bummed an umbrella off of somebody down there, maybe even a tarp. Unfortunately, heavy rains began about lap 6. We completed 10 before the checkers flew. There's Gilsinger, the silver medalist, making his way around the course.
Just miserable conditions to drive in. I tell you what, I've been in races like this before. It's survival is all it is. I mean, it's not, at this point, it doesn't become a race anymore. It just becomes a survival.
We saw some great drives by Andrew Aquilani, who will be credited to a 16th unofficially in the race. Race leader held a 12-second lead in the rain when it really started coming down.
Did a great job, and when that heavy rain came, I knew it was going to be trouble.
And there's Marty Grand. The wipers still going. The crew happy. They don't care if they're getting wet because they just got themselves a gold medal.
Well, you never can play the weather. I mean, nobody knows when they go into this championship at the end of the year what's going to be dealt. Certainly this configuration car in the rain is far superior to any other all-wheel drive I'm talking about. On the other hand, had it been dry and sunny, I think Andrew Aquilani's Mustang looked pretty good.
For the third time in 6 races, Marty Grand is a top 5 finish, and for the second time in his career, he scored the gold medal. Marty Grand is in his car. John Bisignano is there.
We are here, and I'll tell you, it's wetter down here than it even looks up from the booth. The rains came in as we predicted at the beginning of the race and absolutely flooded certain parts of the track. Road America can get very flooded, especially down in the lower half on the back end. It's very smart for some people to pull off, but this is the man that had the right car and the right driving style at the right time. Marty, congratulations on a gold medal.
Thank you, sir.
Let's get you that gold right now.
Excellent.
Bonnie's coming in with the medal.
All right.
Get in there, Bonnie. Congratulations. All right.
Thank you.
First few laps of that race, you and the Mustang touching each other 3 times in 3 laps. First of all, tell us about that duel.
I don't think we ever actually touched. We were really close, probably inches away, but I don't think we actually touched. It was the track was a little bit slick at first, so I thought it'd be a pretty even. I have rain tires. He went out on slicks. The track was half dry, half wet, so I knew it'd be a heck of a first lap or two. And then it was weather was just going to dry up, which it started to. When it started drying up, I started going back a little bit, and then I was praying for rain, and thank you, rain.
Well, the handling of your car with the 4-wheel drive, that's certainly an advantage in these particular situations. But once the car started to have competition by the rear-wheel drive cars, when it starts drying out, you had your hands full both front and rear. They were all over you. You were the sandwich.
Right, well, the difference is they were on slicks. So as it dried up, it was right into their element.
Is that why you were kind of late for the grid?
I was. We had the car up on the stands until the 6-minute mark. We slammed it down and jumped up, and we made it with just a few minutes to go.
So you were praying for rain the whole time?
Yes, of the top of the front cars, I believe I was the only one on rains.
When you're out there like that, you have to show as much control as possible. Sure, the all-wheel drive helps, but how do you pick the best part of the track to be in? It changes every lap.
The thing I'm most proud of is the patience, because as they're coming up, as the track's drying off, it's real easy to overdrive your car and try to keep up with them. I know I can't keep up with them when it dries out. Hoping the track came back to me. Once it started raining, then everything just flipped back in my favor.
Well, you read it perfectly. Congratulations on a great first place and a gold medal.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, well, another gentleman is very happy to see things rain as much as it did. The 07, the Acura. Chad, we've got to congratulate you. My gosh, you saw a lot of action out there.
Yeah, this was an unbelievable race. I didn't think it was going to get this wet, so we took a gamble and went out on slicks.
What was that like? Okay, come on.
In the beginning, it wasn't so bad. There was still a decent amount of grip. The Acura SH all-wheel drive is amazing, so I wasn't too worried about it. But then there was a lot of standing water, so I just had to really pace myself. And there at the end, through the kink and all the way to Canada, there were just puddles everywhere. I lost it. I thought I scraped the wall, but I was able to hold on, and I can't believe I'm second. I didn't have a radio. I had no idea where I was.
Well, you saw them dropping off all over, all on the left, on the right. Everyone was off the track. That all-wheel drive on the slicks was capable of making it through.
Oh yeah, that's why we built this car for this class. I mean, we knew that in the dry we were down a little bit on power, but if it rained, I've been doing the rain dance all week. Unfortunately, it rained for my T3 race, which was bad for me, but it was great for here. So
great control out there, buddy. Congratulations on that silver medal. All right, well, someone who I don't think really thought that he was going to be on the podium today. Congratulations, Alan. I'll tell you, what were you thinking when you saw everybody in the weeds and you were still on the track?
Let me tell you, it was crazy out there, and as the rain started coming down, the car just started hydroplaning. No one could stop in the corners. I actually went off in 3, and I was able to keep the power down through the kitty litter and made it through. That's how I'm here in 3rd. This is awesome. Thanks. I want to say thank you to Fall Line Motorsports, and I hope that Joe Koenig is recovering. Joe, we missed you out here today.
I got to ask you, what is it like when you know that you have lost all contact with the surface of the racetrack? You go from a driver to a passenger, you turn the steering wheel, and you're still going straight wherever your momentum's taking you.
I will tell you that it's just like being on the highway, and you have no control, but you have to follow your instincts and follow and find the line. As Mark Bowden says, search for the grip, and that's what I was doing out there. And I just want to thank everyone at Fall Line. I want to thank my family, Kossoff Motorsports, my father, Teddy, my wife, Sabrina. This is it. I made the podium.
All right. Woo! Congratulations on that bronze medal. It's a great, great job with driving with those slick tires.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, guys, what a scene down here. My gosh. I mean, if Hollywood tried to make this happen, they would say that they overdid it. Just the whole drenching of the track in every spot, and most of the people out there on the slicks. That's what's going to happen. Slip and slide every time that the skies open up.
And a lot of folks have a lot of people to thank, and Chad Gilsinger among them finished second as the winner, Marty Grand, is taking his victory lap. Alan Kossoff will get credited for third. Brian Kleeman, unofficially fourth. He also was one of those car-changing, starting at the back, Nissans that came up through the field.
Yeah, instead of changing tires, they changed the whole car. And unfortunately for Mark Bowden, who did the same thing, he came in right there at the end. But he was, from both those guys, Kleeman and they started dead last and passed half the field on the first lap. I mean, it was a great race. Nobody knew how this thing was going to play out with the weather and so forth. But I tell you, if I was a betting man, I would like that all-wheel drive car myself. With the rain tires was smart. We thought everybody was on slick. So Marty Grand, he nails it as far as the setup goes. He had the right car and he had the right tire.
Deluge during the event. The rain has stopped, and we'll continue our action here on the SCCA National Championship Runoffs. Getting the gold medal is Marty Grand, silver to Chad Gilsinger, bronze to Alan Kossoff, and presenting those trophies in Victory Lane is the chairman of the board of the SCCA, Jerry Warnaka, and he's going to be giving that trophy away, as well as Dick Petula, who gave out the area from Area 1, gave out trophies in Formula 1000 as well. And looking at how things shape up, the morning was a bit of a challenge for all these racers, but congrats to Marty Grand, the winner here in the Black Magic T2 National Championship.
This portion of the 48th Annual SCCA National Championship Runoffs is being brought to you by Mazda, Zoom Zoom, by Volkswagen, Das Auto, by Black Magic Car Care Products, and by Gumout, cleaning since 1945.
What do you drive? Is it inspiring? Was it built by a behemoth car maker? Or insightful craftsmen obsessing over the details, building better cars for a discerning few? Are you one of the few who care about what you drive and how it drives? We're with you because we believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. We build Mazdas. What do you drive?
Gumout Regain Complete Fuel System Cleaner helps restore lost horsepower and fuel economy. Just pour an entire bottle of Gumout Regain into your tank before your next fill-up. Powerful cleaning additives attach themselves to fuel system carbon deposits and safely and effectively lift them away. That way, deposits burn up, then pass through the exhaust. Gumout Regain additives even leave a protective barrier to help keep new deposits from forming for up to 3,000 miles. Get a bottle of Gumout Regain Complete Fuel System Cleaner today for reduced engine hesitation, surging and knocking, as well as restored fuel economy and lost horsepower, all within one fill-up.
Okay, it's time to face facts. You're a gearhead. You treat the freeway on-ramp like your own personal racetrack, and you love the smell of burning rubber. Well, good news, Speed Junkie. The Sports Car Club of America wants you. With 40,000 members and 2,000 events across the country, the SCCA has all the wheel-spinning, engine-revving excitement you can handle. Want to dance on the edge of control? In SCCA Solo, you'll learn the blacktop two-step with an army of cones trying to trip you up. If slinging mud is your thing, check out SCCA Rallycross, where power slides and rooster tails are the name of the game. And if wheel-to-wheel competition is what you crave, SCCA Club Racing lets you chase the checkered flag on America's toughest racetracks. Join the Sports Car Club of America today and feed your obsession.
Road trip, buddy. Let's put some music on.
Welcome to Learning Spanish in the Car.
You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, this is good.
Vámonos.
Vámonos.
Gracias.
Gracias.
13 horas en el carro sin parar y no traes música. Mira, entra y cómprame unas papitas.
Get up to 795 miles per tank in the all-new Volkswagen Passat TDI Clean Diesel.